Today in Legal ES, Sean Kingston and his mother are arrested after his home is raided, while Diddy is sued again. Plus, Lenny Hochstein accuses Lisa of abuse. We've got that plus so much more on today's Legal ES. Everyone, and welcome to Legal ES. I'm Christina. That's, of course, Nima Rahmani, President and CEO of West Coast Trial Lawyers. Hey, Nima, how are you?
Doing great, Christina. How about you?
I'm doing good. Lots of big news to get to this week, kicking off with Sean Kingston. So he was arrested without incident on a Broward Sheriff's Office arrest warrant for numerous fraud and theft charges. He was booked into jail in California. And this was right after his mother, Janice, was arrested following a police raid on the singer's rented Florida mansion. She has since posted bail. So the raid was triggered by a lawsuit filed back in February against Sean by an attorney representing Ver Entertainment. So the suit alleges that the singer purchased promotional items from the company without paying for them. Among them was a 232-inch TV that he has posed in pictures with and allegedly $1 million in watches. So they claimed that Turner, his mother, was complicit in Kingston's fraud and that she knows what's going on. So she previously pled guilty to 4 counts of filing false loan applications and 1 count of bank fraud in 2006. And she was sentenced to 16 months in prison and 5 years of supervised release. So Sean Kingston probably wouldn't want to be him right now.
Definitely not. And different types of cases can be civil or criminal, which means there can be a lawsuit, but can also result in criminal charges. And that's what's happening here when you're talking about the fraud. So obviously Kingston was sued civilly, but now law enforcement has gotten involved and prosecutors have actually filed charges. And the charges are out of the state of Florida, but because Kingston was here, he was arrested here in California, here being where I live.
So is he going to be extradited to Florida if he hasn't been so already?
Yes, so if he doesn't voluntarily return to Florida or waive extradition, he will be extradited under the full faith and credit clause of the Constitution. Courts in California have to respect arrest warrants issued by other states, including Florida.
So how does it get this far to being like a home raid? Because it seems like seems pretty intense, and for maybe a fraud case. I don't know if that's true or not.
It is very intense, not something that you typically see. Oftentimes these types of cases, they're resolved civilly. Now this is a pretty significant fraud. If you look at the numbers, you're talking about a 7-figure fraud, more than $1 million. That's the type of situation that law enforcement may get involved in. Normally, maybe not in Diddy's case, but normally, once a search warrant is executed, an arrest happens a short time thereafter. So I'm not surprised to see arrests in this case.
So where do you think it goes from here? Is he going to spend some time in jail? Will his mother have to spend some time in jail? What's kind of the next steps?
I think Sean's going to bond out like his mother did. And the question is, did they fight this case? Is there some sort of defense here to the fraud? Or was it just your run-of-the-mill scam where they got all this merchandise, whether it's TVs, watches, and so forth, and didn't want to pay for it? If so, we may be seeing a plea offer pretty soon.
All right. Well, moving on to Real Housewives of Miami alum Lenny Hochstein. He is accusing his estranged wife, Lisa, of abuse amid his defamation lawsuit. So Lenny claimed that Lisa consistently hit him throughout their marriage, which began back in 2009. So the filings are the most recent addition to Lenny's defamation case against Lisa that began back in December. So he told us there are too many times over the course of the marriage to list each instance of physical abuse by Lisa against Lenny. However, to be clear, at no point in time did Lenny ever strike or hit back at Lisa or push or initiate any physical harm to Lisa in any way. He initiated divorce proceedings back in May of 2022. This has been going on forever. When he was contacted by us, he added, "That's the reality of it. I never hit her and she hit me countless times." But Lenny clarified he never felt that he was threatened by his ex. He said, "Lisa is 100 pounds. She never hurt me. I never felt like she was hurting me or I was an abused person, but that's the reality." Now, her attorney denies his allegations, and Lenny's claims come months after she accused him of abuse in November of 2023. She posted a photo of her bruised arm on Instagram at the time, implying her estranged husband was the abuser. This has been going on for, 2 years now. It's been going on for quite some time. It's a lot of he said, she said, but throwing around abuse allegations is pretty serious.
Very serious. And like you said, Christina, this is one of the nastiest divorces out there. And there's no question that the relationship was toxic, but I really kind of question this lawsuit. If you're saying that you weren't hurt, and if you're Lenny,
Right.
really, what are your damages here? Now, we've seen cases like this where obviously most famously Johnny Depp filed a lawsuit of
Mhm.
defamation to clear his name. Maybe that's what Lenny's trying to do here, to really sort of strike back and have the truth come out in a court of law. But really, from a lawyer's perspective, if you don't suffer any damages, you don't have any case, even if someone did hurt you. You need your liability as well as damages to pursue a claim. The
Right.
question is Lenny doing this for PR reasons? Has Lisa hurt his brand or his business? And maybe there'll be some economic damage. But in terms of personal injury, I don't see anything here.
Right. I mean, as maybe somebody that would be representing Lisa at this point, is it kind of just cut your money and run at this point? Because it's just it just seems like the two of them are just, trying to see who will kind of fall first.
Unfortunately, when it comes to family law, oftentimes it's not about the merits of the case or getting money. Sometimes it's just to inflict pain, legal pain on your ex. And I really think that's what's happening here. These two hate each other so much. They're using lawyers in our legal system to try to hurt the other person. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but obviously sometimes decisions are made for emotional reasons and not for rational ones.
All right. Well, another week, another lawsuit against Diddy, and a woman named April Lampros is accusing him of drugging her and sexually assaulting her on multiple occasions after they met in New York City back in 1995. She said she was a student at FIT when she first crossed paths with Diddy, who at the time allegedly said he would mentor her in the fashion industry. She alleged that Diddy applied her with alcohol before taking her back to his room, where she claimed she started to feel sick. And she alleged that Diddy then forced himself on her, raped her, and she woke up nude, sore, and confused the next morning. She also alleged that Diddy began pursuing her months later and promised access to exclusive events. In 1996, she alleged that Diddy ordered her to his apartment, where he forced her to take ecstasy and have sex with his late ex-girlfriend, Kim Porter, while he allegedly raped her again. So in 2023, she further claimed that Diddy recorded one of their previous sexual encounters without her knowledge after her former boyfriend alleged that he had seen a video of her having sex with Diddy. So what happens next in this case? Would she have to maybe come up with that video? What's the next steps?
Well, this is just another civil lawsuit, but I still believe, and I say it every week, that Diddy is going to be charged. But we're seeing a lot of the same allegations, right? We're seeing drugs, illegal drug use. We're seeing multiple people involved. And importantly for Diddy, we're seeing allegations that he recorded these sex acts. That's, of course, all evidence that can be used against him. And to the extent that he's communicating with these victims, that also shows circumstantial evidence that supports their claims that they were raped. So all very important evidence. I think Diddy's world is going to come crashing down sooner rather than later. But until then, he's going to have to deal with all of these civil lawsuits.
Yeah, no, definitely. And do you foresee him kind of settling these as quickly as he settled the lawsuit with Cassie?
If he's smart, he should. If he's really worth $1 billion and there's any reasonable settlement amount, you should pay to resolve these cases, because every lawsuit that's filed, it's a public filing, and it's just encouraging other victims to come forward. And I don't know if all these people would have had Cassie Ventura's lawsuit not been so public.
All right, Nima, lots of big stories this week. Thank you for breaking it all down as always.
Of course, Christina, thanks for having me, and I'll see you next week.